What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another LeetCode SQL video. Today we're going to take a look at a problem which is marked as easy and part of SQL 50, which is LeetCode's curated list of 50 SQL problems to get started with. So let's get into it. So as I said, this one is marked as easy and part of SQL 50. More specifically, it's part of the basic aggregate functions section, which sort of tells us what we can expect from this question. This one's called project employees 1. And it's also numbered 1075 or 1075. Let's check out the tables we're working with. So for this one, we have two tables, one called project, one called employee. Project has two columns, one called project ID, one called employee ID, while employee has three columns, also employee ID, the name of the employee, and their experience in years. Our task is to write an SQL query that reports the average experience years of all the employees for each project, rounded to 2 digits. We should return the result table in any order, and the result will look as following. We would have a project ID like 1, multiple employees assigned to it. We would have employee information and employee, something like name Khaled, employee ID 1, and experience in years 3. Output for project ID 1 would be 2 because the average of employees 1, 2, 3 is 6 divided by 3, which gives us 2. Yeah. So that should be it. Let's get started coding this up. So since the task is to write a query that reports the average experience years of all the employees for each project, we will select project and then think about the average. Since the problem statement mentions for each project, we should use a group by. For each is pretty much a keyword to use a group by in your solution. So looking at the example output, we should have project ID, then the average as average years. And yeah, in terms of the years of experience, we only have one column that has years, which is experience years, and yeah, taking the average from that and calling it average years should give us what we want. We're selecting that from, let's think about what we're selecting from. So we have two tables, project and employee. Project ID is found in project, which is sort of the lookup table for which employees in which project. And experience years is information about the employee, which is part of the employee table. So we need to use information from both tables. So we'll have to join them. And let's think about which join to use. Is there any reason not to use an inner join or regular join here? Why would we use a left join here or anything else? There's really no reason to. We just want to connect actual employees working on actual projects. The only reason maybe could be if you'd have a project with no one on the project and you'd want to have experience in years as 0 because there's no one assigned yet, but doesn't seem like that's the case here. So we'll use a regular join here. So we're selecting from both tables. So we're selecting from project and we'll join employee. Yeah, and since I'm using MySQL here or MySQL, I could just use the using keyword and say using employee ID. We're matching these records. But if I'm using anything else, if you're using anything else here in LeetCode, then yeah, it's best to just spell out the join condition. So project dot, we're joining an employee ID. Project.employee ID equals employee.employee ID. Yeah, so this should give us the matching. And since I said we're calculating that average for each project ID, we will want to use a group by statement, and we can specify group by 1 for the first column in our select statement, or actually spell out the column, which is project ID. We should return the result table in any order, so we're fine here, but looking back at the actual problem statement, they want the result rounded to 2 digits, the result of that average calculation. So yeah, let's wrap that average calculation with a round function and specify 2 as the number of decimal points we want to include or want to round to. And yeah, let's double check this. Expected output would be project ID and average years, which we have here. We did the rounding. We don't need to do any ordering. Join should be fine too. We have the group by in there, so fine to run this. Let's actually submit it straight away and see if it's accepted. It is accepted. That's been it for that question. This was on the easier side pretty much, but we're getting into medium and hard territory. So if you want to follow along, I have a playlist on all problems of SQL 50. I'm doing a video solution for all of them. So check out the playlist and subscribe to the channel if you want to get notified once I upload more. That's been it for today. See you next time.